Hello and welcome to this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. I am Megara Vijaymanna.
And I am Haris Amarasekara. As always, this is the sound of profitability.
Sri Lanka achieved a record-breaking total export revenue of over $16 billion in 2024, according to data released by the Export Development Board.
The growth was driven by $12.7 billion in merchandise exports, reflecting a 6.67% year-on-year growth, and $3.46 billion in service export revenue, registering an 8.51% increase over the corresponding period in 2023. According to EDB Chairman Mangala Vijayasinghe, this achievement surpasses the previous high of $15.72 billion achieved in 2018 and $15.65 billion registered in 2019. Total exports for December 2024, including both merchandise and services, reached $1.36 billion, reflecting a 9.21% growth over the corresponding period in 2023.
Tourism Minister Vijitha Herath has announced that there are moves to offer free visas for nationals of 39 countries. This is expected to be a major boost to tourism and is an extension to a policy that has been in practice from November 2023. Tourism industry stakeholders greeted the latest decision, noting its potential to boost the appeal as a travel destination of Sri Lanka. During the first 19 days of 2025, Sri Lanka has welcomed a total of 153,761 visitors compared to 127,951 arrivals in the same period in 2024, reflecting a strong start. The daily arrival average climbed to 8,093, a 20.2% jump from 6,734 during the same period last year. For 2025, Sri Lanka Tourism aims to woo 3 million tourists and generate $5 billion in revenue.
Sri Lanka's export earnings from apparel reached $4.7 billion in 2024, with a year-on-year growth of nearly 5%. This was according to data released by the Joint Apparel Association Forum.
Exports to the US, Sri Lanka's largest destination, grew by 5.23% year-on-year to $1.9 billion in 2024. Despite this, the figure remains 19.4% below 2019 levels, emphasizing the potential to regain further ground. Growth in exports to the UK was robust at 7.65%, now nearing parity with 2019 levels, aided by sustained demand for ethically and sustainably manufactured garments. While growth in the EU was modest at 0.81%, the sector has maintained a foothold in a highly competitive and increasingly regulated market. Exports to other destinations also grew by 10.13%, demonstrating both new market penetration and the trend for the industry to label, pack, and ship direct to third countries on behalf of our customers.
Now it's time for the corporate highlights. JKH has completed the conversion of its unlisted debentures to equity by HWIC Asia Fund, a subsidiary of Fairfax Financial Holdings Limited, the largest shareholder of JKH.
In August 2022, John Keells Holdings issued Rs 208.125 million denominated unlisted debentures with a convertible option with a face value of Rs 27.06 billion to HWIC. The debentures were issued at Rs 130 each, with the option for conversion to ordinary voting shares based on the approval granted by shareholders. HWIC has exercised its option to convert the remaining balance 98.125 million debentures with a face value of Rs 12.76 billion. HWIC partially converted 110 million debentures in February last year.
Sri Lanka Hotels plc has announced a move by its two major shareholders to capitalize loans worth 1.3 billion rupees by way of a private placement of shares. The plan is to have 32.3 million shares issued, valued each at 41 rupees. This is expected to strengthen its financial position. The company has obtained loans from its major shareholders, TEL Hotels and Resorts Limited and the Indian Hotel Company, worth $4.47 million or approximately Rs 1.32 billion. Total outstanding capital due is at $3.65 million to TEL, $820,000 to the Indian Hotel Company. TEL holds 58.14% stake in the company and the Indian Hotel Company holds 24.6%. In order to strengthen the financial position, the company capitalizes the loans due and payable to major shareholders by converting such loans amounting to approximately $4.469 million into shares. Accordingly, it has proposed to issue 26.3 million shares worth Rs 1.07 billion to TEL and 5.9 million shares worth Rs 242.4 million to Indian Hotel Company.
Here is the ESG update of the week.
China's surging power and energy demands are creating a climate conundrum. China is already labelled as the world's largest polluter, and this year alone in 2025, its overall demand for power and energy is expected to grow at more than 6%. Growing power demand is stymieing efforts to decarbonize the power sector, which accounts for nearly half of the country's greenhouse gas emissions. Even after record additions of wind turbines and solar panels, clean power generation wasn't enough to meet all the increased demand last year, forcing thermal power plants to burn more coal and generate about 1.5% more power than in 2023. The biggest driver of this elevated power demand has been the industrial sector, accounting for about 2/3 of China's electricity use. Even as real estate collapse dragged down steel and cement output, production of materials like copper, aluminium, and petrochemicals hit record highs last year, using increasing amounts of energy. And here's Megara with the international update of the week.
US tech stocks plunged on Monday amid a wider market sell-off. And the culprit? DeepSeek, a Chinese artificial intelligence company that shocked the AI tech market last week with a new and low-cost model.
Leading AI chip maker Nvidia saw its market value nosedive, while shares of tech giants such as Microsoft, Alphabet, and Dell Technologies also faced sharp declines. DeepSeek may have prompted investors to sell some high-flying stocks like Nvidia, which has soared more than 900% since 2023. But investors are still buying non-AI related stocks. This development signals a shift from China's traditional role as the factory of the world to a new position as a major player in large language models. DeepSeek has managed to develop cutting-edge AI models at a fraction of the cost compared to Western counterparts.
And that's it for this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. No matter what investment decision you make it with the right intel. We will see you next week.